So there's a lot of stuff going on when it comes to video game creation. On Grok, there's people making video games with Grok. Um, they're not like the AAA video games, but Elon said at the end of this year, which will probably be next year, or sometime next year, you'll be able to make AAA video games with Grok. And what does that mean for the video game industry? That means huge innovation. I'm sitting here seeing them release basically the same games over and over again, especially like the sports games. I like the sports games. And it's basically the same thing over and over. My idea was because to get around the licensing stuff, like just make the infrastructure, just make the graphics, just make the infrastructure. Don't put any licensing, don't put any team names on there. I mean, you can do that, and then we can pay extra for that if you play it online or whatever. But like if you're playing a game offline, which a lot of people, the NFL doesn't want this is the thing, is like just take Madden, the infrastructure, and don't put nothing on there, and let us put whatever we want. They can do that. They can have you can buy the authentic version, what has the NFL license, all the licensing and stuff like that. But like, what I'm trying to say is we need more mods on AAA video games. We need to be able to create what we want. The whole notion of this like superstar mode is a cool concept, but you're limited to what you can do. And then you're like having to do this story, which a lot of people probably just skip through because it's so boring and cheesy and whatever. It's like, I want to interact. I want every character that's in the game, whether it's a referee or a football player, I want to be able to interact with them personally. I want there to be some type of fake social media where, we can talk smack before the game, after the game, or like, hey, I can influence them to want to come join my team if they're a free agent. Or like, me and them could get into some type of altercation, and like whenever, it could be on the field, it could be off the field, in the locker room, like the same old dog and pony show. When you win a championship, it's the same thing over and over again. It's like I like to see like my player celebrating, but I like to have more control over him celebrating, like doing different things. And then like I want to be able to go into the locker room and then like interact with people, interact with the teammates, and then like almost like a Grand Theft Auto type where I can leave the arena and I know what I'm talking about sounds like really crazy and in depth, which what it is like it's starting to like we need a world where we can like go around and then combine these different video games, be able to create our own world, and then I heard Tim Pool talking a little bit about it, like you're like somebody, you're gonna be able to make your own your own movies and stuff like that. And I've talked about like making your own movies and being a character when people connect into the Matrix, being able to go back into your memories and reliving different parts of your life, making different decisions and like simulating and then go like jumping back and then jumping forward. So like if your simulation isn't doing what you want it to do, you can just go back and then like make that simulation like do what you wanted to do so you can see the outcome. um but yeah, like we need to be able to create, and people the people who like are the like creative people, the ones that create the worlds, that create the movies, like whatever I can think of, it just comes out. And then someone might want to watch, somebody might want to interact with it. They might want to take the idea and then like reform it. People need to be you should be able to spectate on different worlds. Like you don't have to like, you can be like a ghost in people's worlds, so like you can see people creating. It's kind of creepy, but like I'm sitting here building, I'm sitting here doing stuff in my world, whatever I'm creating, and then other people can come in there and see what I'm doing. They can come and interact, or they can come back and then act like they're, they could be anonymous, they could just see what I'm doing. But yeah, this is what I'm talking. We need to. So it's like, okay, like I want Mark Zuckerberg to be my towel boy in the NBA, like an NBA game. I want to be able to like, go back into the past, and the NBA has done this. NBA 2K has done this with the eras where you can go back and like redo things in different decades, which is cool. That's what I'm talking about. You can go back and play in different types of eras, and we need more creation. That's what we need. We need more. We need more mods. We need less. If we use a licensing thing in our world, we could be compensated for putting that ad in our world. I'm playing NBA, yeah, I'm playing NBA or whatever, and then you see like these company ads, which makes it more realistic, but it's like at the same time, I'm seeing that ad. I never understood the whole idea of having to pay for cable, and then you have to watch, commercials. At this point, when you're paying for a streaming service like NFL Pass or whatever, and then you have to watch commercials on top of that, it just seems weird to me. We need to get to the point where if I don't want to watch ads or have any of that around me, then I'm paying. It's like, if you pay for YouTube, you don't have to listen to as many ads. If you pay for Spotify, you don't have to listen to many ads. We need to get more like that. Make all the games free. But if they're free, then you have to like participate in the ads. You have to watch the ads or whatever you have to do. We need things to be more open. We need things like the whole like copyright thing. We need to get to the point where if somebody creates something and I use part of their creation, like a song or whatever, and if I'm being monetized, if I'm getting some type of reward like Bitcoin or whatever, they should get a percentage of that automatically because I use their creation. And that's where we need to get to. And I know this sounds crazy. I know this sounds like it can't happen. But I think that it's actually going to be really easy to create this type of scenario, like what I'm talking about with video games, with AI, the creation of with AI helping us create the digital world. I think it's going to be way easier to create the digital infrastructure than it is, real life infrastructure. Like this, like there's, yeah, I listened to videos where people were like, "Oh, there's nobody hiring." Well, that's white collar workers. Nobody's hiring, and yeah, the blue collar, they're taking a hit too. I'm not gonna say that we're not taking a hit too, but the white collar workers, if you have an office job, and you can't think that you're gonna have that job for like the next 20 years, because you're probably going to be replaced by AI at some point. That's what my mentality would be. Like, I would think like, okay, why would this company keep paying me a big salary, my benefits, when it can just like pay to have infrastructure to replace me, like download some program, AI agents, like, well, it's like they're not going to just keep paying you when there's no need to have that job anymore. Like the whole fast food thing. These fast food places that want to make it, because we're going to have a lot of companies that go under. I think Hooters went bankrupt. If you're not investing into like fast food, like if you're not investing in robotics to replace, like, the whole notion of like the Republicans when they say like fast food is not a real job, well, it takes human labor, so that is a real job, because it doesn't like it doesn't just do itself. You need some human labor to do it. But like we need companies to start investing into assets. So we're gonna have a UBI whether people like it or not. We have so many people on welfare, and we need a system. We need a system that is more dynamic. With the UBI, you can have it where you can, the social credit score, like which we have a somewhat of a financial credit score. Well, okay. If we come to an agent of abundance, and people are like, the robots are doing all the work or whatever, and there's like an abundance of whatever you want to eat, like hamburgers or whatever, and then you just like take a one bite out of each hamburger, or one bite out of an apple. You just like take, and you're just causing a bunch of waste. I think that will cause your credit score to go down, and then you'll have less freedoms. Like, I don't understand this whole notion. Like, the people who are free right now have money. I already feel like a slave. I've already felt like a slave. Have to pay my taxes, have to like go to work, and your car, like, I can't afford to go nowhere. I don't want to go nowhere. I don't want to have to pay it costs so much money to do anything nowadays. So it's like a big hassle at this point to do anything. But we have the have and have nots, and we will have a UBI system, which what the UBI will do is give people a chance to have some free time to be able to learn. Like, I don't understand, like, to work fast food job, if all you can get is a fast food job because you have no skills. Let's say you have no skills, and all you can get is fast food job, and you have to live on your own. You have to completely support yourself without having any help from the government. So you have to work like 60, 80 hours a week so you can pay for your medical benefits. So you're not relying on the government at all. You're not getting any food stamps. You're not getting any type of medical from the government. So you're having to work like 60, 80 hours a week. And what the Republicans want is you to take whatever free time you have left and then start trying to learn a skill. It's like, I don't fucking have time to do that. It takes motivation to want to do it to begin with. But when people are being forced to work so much just for resources, that's not going to happen. They're not going to go nowhere. So like a UBI will be, you have a basic, you won't be able to save it. You get so much of a rations, all you need to survive. And if you want more, just be in the digital reality. If you can't really create and all you do is like consume in the digital world, you don't, that's why I say I think that our financial system needs to be more dynamic, where if you create in the digital world, you should be able to take that value and put it into the real world, and vice versa. It just seems like it's, I know people get monetized based off of how many eyes are on their product when it comes to like making videos or whatever. But I just think it's like, for instance, like right now, I'm unemployed. And I'm thinking to myself, what is going to happen? What 5-10 years ago they were saying the trope was for the miners losing their jobs. They would say the people on the left are like, journalists would be like, just learn coding, bro. Well, try to learn coding now, and it'll just be a huge waste of time. These computer jobs, people are like, oh, like become like do this and that, like they're going away. I feel like, we already have enough people to do these jobs, and that's why people are like, do the trades, do that, do this, do that. And I think those people probably get paid more. I think we're gonna have a shift. We are so pampered. Our society is so pampered. We have like, when you look at the NBA, the worst product out there right now. That's the worst product. All they do is jack threes. And then you got players who don't want to play, but they're getting paid like $60 million a year, which I get it. They probably only take home like 35 million, but 35 million a year. Come on, man. And then they get their endorsements on top of that. So like they're getting, it's not just like, it's not just like their NBA salary. They're getting endorsements too. So like that's why they're like, I don't want to work. I don't care about working. And they're getting paid all of this money for their status. Status means so much across the board. And I don't think that's going to go away. It doesn't seem like there's a lot of movement, it just seems like people who are already there are there. It seems like with money too. If you're not rich already, like you're done. If you don't have a lot of stat, I'm not saying it can't happen. It just seems like it's getting harder and harder to gain stat because there's so much competition out there. There's so many people trying to be an influencer or whatever. Hey, look at me. But what? My thing is like things are changing so rapidly. AI is evolving so quickly, and people don't understand how fast it's evolving. I've said it before. My IQ which my IQ is like whatever. It doesn't matter my IQ. My IQ was higher than the smartest AI back in September, and their IQ was like a 90. 3 months later, 150. What do you think it is now? The fact that like you can make music with AI. It's so easy to make songs with AI. It takes a couple minutes. And it's just going to get better. You can see this with videos. You can see this with pictures it creates, images. It just gets better and better. Quicker and quicker. So it's like what do we go for? What do we, I don't know, but that's it.